Morning. Top Gun here, Friday, March 26th, about 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is the YouTube pre-market commentary. All right, so yesterday, the bulls managed to rally back from a down open and close the market marginally higher, with the S&P up 0.52%, the NASDAQ 0.12%, and the Russell had a really good day, up 2.29%. Nevertheless, as I wrote yesterday in Tops Are a Process, the market is following the script for market tops as one group of stocks after another appears to be topping and rolling over. Now, the one exception to this, the one group that has held up so far, is those stocks that are part of what is called the reopen trade. These are the stocks that are supposed to benefit greatly from the reopening of the economy due to the containment of the coronavirus via the vaccines. Okay, some examples, and I've included charts in the blog, are Home Depot, Railroad Union Pacific, Hail Ride Service Lyft, and hotel operator Marriott. If you look at their charts, you'll see there's not a lot of breakdown, or in Home Depot's case, there was, but it's recovered it all and made new highs in no time. So those charts are all very healthy, in contrast to the charts I showed you of tech yesterday. Okay, and the IWM. All right, chart. Okay, so another example of a reopened stock is Darden Restaurants, which reported earnings yesterday morning. So it's a good time to delve into the stock a little bit. It's a $19 billion restaurant operator whose flagship restaurant is Olive Garden. Now, the stock surged 8.19% on almost 4 times average volume yesterday. So obviously investors responded very positively to the report. What did they see in it? Blended same-store sales were minus 26.7% for the quarter ended February 28th, 2021. So clearly that wasn't it. I think what it was a table they included of performance in weeks subsequent to the quarter that ended on February 28th, especially the most recent week ended Sunday, March 21st, in which they showed a 5.4 increase in blended same-store sales over the 2-year ago period. So, if you look at the chart in the weeks before that, it's in the minus teens, and then it goes to plus 5.4%. So all of a sudden, a big jump, possibly an inflection point. I think that's what investors are thinking. I think it's confirmation for them that the economy is reopening, and when it does, these stocks are going to boom. Okay, I've included that table as well as a chart of Darden in the blog. Now, the problem with Darden and so many other of these reopened stocks is that they've already priced in a boom, okay? So even if this boom takes place, there's not much higher for these stocks to go from a fundamental perspective. Of course, technically, they can do anything. That's because Darden trades at 24 times the 4 pre-COVID quarters ended February 23rd, 2020. Now, that's really, really expensive for a stock coming out of a pandemic with minus 26.7 blended same-store sales to trade at 24 times peak earnings. A low quality, or not low quality, a middle quality company. In the best of times, you would give it a 15 to 16 times multiple on peak earnings during those peak earnings. In this situation, I personally would only give it a 10 multiple. So that gives me an intrinsic value of 60.50, which is 58% below where Darden closed yesterday. So there's a lot of money to be made on the short side in these reopened stocks, in my opinion. The tricky part is implementing that idea, right? It's easy to short mega cap tech via the QQQ. It's easy to short speculative tech via Cathie Wood's ARKK. It's easy to short the semiconductors versus the SMH. I think the small caps is a good way to short the reopen trade, the IWM, which is what I'm doing, as well as the SPY. However, the best way is to go name through the S&P XLY, and XLI, the consumer discretionary and industrial sectors, and cherry pick the best names, one of which I think is Dart. Okay, so as a result, while these stocks remain technically strong and are the investor favorites of the moment, the topping pattern being shown by the rest of the market, as well as their extremely full valuations, suggests to me that they will soon be topping and rolling over as well, pulling out the last pillar of the bull market. Have a great weekend.